Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotara Shri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotara Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Imunamai Ki Jai Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Verse? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, the Science of God, Chapter 15, Instructions for Civilized Human Beings. Just waiting for the book. Thanks. Text 32 and 33. Okay. So if you could Please repeat after me. Pranapano Sannirudyat Pura Kumbhaka Rechikaye Yavan Manas Tyajet Kaman Swa Nasagra Nirikshanaha Pranapano Sanirudyat Pura Kumbhaka Rechikaye Yavan Manastyajet Kaman Nasagra Nirikshanaha Pranapano Sanirudyat Pura Kumbhaka Rechikaye Yavan Manastyajet Kaman Nasagra Nirikshanaha Pranapano Sannirundyat Pura Kumbhaka Rechikaye Yavan Manastyajet Kaman Swanasagar Nirikshanaha. Okay. Prana, incoming breath. Apano, outgoing breath. Saninrundyat, should stop. Pura Kumbhaka Rechikaye, by inhaling, exhaling, and holding, which are technically known as Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechika. Yavat, so long. Manaha, the mind. Tyajet, should give up. Kaman, all material desires. Swa, one's own. Nasa agra, the tip of the nose. Nirikshanaha, looking at. All right. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. While continuously staring at the tip of the nose, a learned yogi practices the breathing exercises through the technical means known as Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechaka, controlling inhalation and exhalation, and then stopping them both. In this way, the yogi restricts the mind from material attachments and gives up all material desires. As soon as the mind, being defeated by lusty desires, drifts towards feelings of sense gratification, the yogi should immediately bring it back and arrest it within the core of his heart. Purport. The practice of yoga is concisely explained herein. Excuse me. When this practice of yoga is perfect, one sees the Supersoul, the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the core of one's heart. However, in Bhagavad Gita 6:47, the Supreme Lord says, Yogi nam api sarvesham madgatindatratmana shadavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. A devotee can immediately become a perfect yogi because he practices keeping Krishna constantly within the core of his heart. This is another way to practice yoga easily. The Lord says, Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of me and become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Bhagavad Gita 1865. If one practices devotional service by always keeping Krishna within the core of his heart, Manmana, he immediately becomes a first-class yogi. Furthermore, keeping Krishna within the mind is not a difficult task for the devotee. For an ordinary man in the bodily concept of life, the practice of yoga may be helpful, but one who immediately takes to devotional service can immediately become a perfect yogi without difficulty. Om Agaritabharandasya Garanjana Shalakaya Chakshulan Meditamena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Mukam Kritavachalam Pungam Yogibata Maham Vande Shri Gurundinitaranam Vanchakabdribishta Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, translation again. While continuously staring at the tip of the nose, a learned yogi practices the breathing exercises, the technical means known as Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechaka, controlling inhalation and exhalation, and then stopping them both. In this way, the yogi restricts his mind from material attachments and gives up all material desires. As soon as the mind, being defeated by lusty desires, drifts towards feelings of sense gratification, the yogi should immediately bring it back and arrest it within the core of his heart. Hare Krishna to everyone. Thank you. I'll share. I'll give a shorter class, and then I'll share a few pictures from the trip, my trip to India. So give an idea of how it went over there. Here in the translation, towards the end of the translation, it's being mentioned how when a yogi, their mind drifts towards sense gratification, towards feelings of sense gratification, the yogi should immediately bring it back. And arrest it within the core of his heart. It reminds me, we had one electrician, devotee electrician. We haven't seen him for a while, but I think his name is Patrick. And he came by and he was fixing something here, and I saw he was wearing this bracelet. I was like a plastic type of rubber bracelet. And then I asked him, I said, what is that bracelet? And he said, well, what it is, he said, actually, I have a very strong attachment to donuts. And a man after my own. And then he said, but for many, many years within San Diego County, within San Diego. He lives in San Diego. He said, it was hard to find donuts that didn't have eggs in them. And I'm a vegan, so I don't, it wasn't a big problem for me. But he said nowadays there's so many places all over San Diego that has vegan donuts. So it's a bit of an issue for me. So he said with his bracelet, whenever I feel like an urge to have a donut, I just press the button on the bracelet and it shocks me. And I said, really? He said, yeah. It's like shock therapy or something. And he said, yeah, there's different levels. One's kind of medium, stronger like that. You could, increase the voltage. So he said, "Oh, do you want to try it? Just to check it out." I forgot if I tried it or not, but maybe I was scared to try it or something.
It could have been too bad because you wouldn't forget it.
Yeah. So he said, yeah, it helps. Whenever I feel that I just press this button and it kind of zaps me, and I say, okay. But like this, there's different methods that people have tried to use throughout time. You also have some of the Christian monks. What would they do if they would feel some desires for sense gratification? They would go like some self-flagellation or throw themselves in like a thorny bush or something like that. There's all types of things that people would do. Now, of course, the Vaishnav way of dealing with this is that when material desires appear, then the idea is we turn to Krishna. Krishna is the most attractive person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, most beautiful person. And if we go to Krishna, if we go and see Krishna, then we will automatically feel attracted. I was just reminded because I visited the Yamuna while I was there in Vrindavan, and I was with a few devotees, and while we were visiting the Yamuna, one of the devotees said, quoting from some class, but it's a verse that Rupa Goswami quotes, that if you how does that go, Dravida Prabhu? You want to say it in the mic about that? Don't go and see Krishna on the bank of Keshi Ghat. Yeah. I think a nice, the Sanskrit and the English.
Smerang Bangi?
Yeah.
Smerang Bangi Tvaya Padachitam Sachi Bisti Drishting Vangsing Nischada Dikashalayam Ujjalam Chandakena Govindakyam Haditan Mitakeshi Tirtopakante Ma Prekshistas Tabayadisake Bandhu Sange Stiranga. So one gopi is speaking to the other, and she's saying, "Oh, on the bank of the Yamuna there, Govinda is standing in the moonlight, and the moonlight is reflecting off his beautiful shiny lips, Smerang Bangi, and he's got the threefold bending form, very attractive. But don't go there if you still want to enjoy family life, because the implication he'll take all that away, So there's a warning there. There's kind of a paradox.
Yeah. If you want to enjoy so-called friendship, family, society, then don't go and see Krishna who's playing his flute there, because the idea is you become so attracted you forget about all of that. So by the awakening of the higher taste or the attraction to Krishna, then one is able to transcend or to overcome all material desires. Raghunath Das Goswami, in one of his books, Manushiksha, there's a verse explaining how when a bhakti yogi a devotee is transversing the path of yoga, or the path of bhakti, going down he calls it it's translated like a highway, that sometimes thugs may come out they're personified. It's a metaphor, but thugs in the form of lust and anger and greed and different things. They come out and they tried to steal whatever the devotee has. That means their Krishna consciousness. So then Raghunath Das Goswami, he explains, okay, what to do when that happens. What do we do when that thug comes, or when those different personalities come? And he says that we should call out to Krishna, or sometimes it's said that we should call out to the devotees of Krishna. Now, sometimes someone may ask, well, it's not automatic that we have that somebody has that determination, that, okay, they're going down this path, and then when these different obstacles present themselves, it's not that one automatically thinks, okay, let me call it to Krishna, let me call it to the devotees of Krishna. That takes a certain level of advancement. So then the question is, well, how are we supposed to get to that level of advancement? And that level of advancement is obtained by association with those who are advanced, by more advanced association, by the association of good devotees, by the association of pure devotees. We're able to gain that ability, that determination, that desire to call out. Because you could say that's an advanced stage as well. But in many ways, when Srila Prabhupada was talking about these different processes of yoga, some complicated different principles and practices of yoga, Srila Prabhupada would always say that a bhakti yogi, a devotee, they could surpass all these different yoga processes just by thinking of Krishna. And he quotes in the verse here, in the purport here, Yogi Nama Bisarvesham, the highest of all yogis is the yogi who abides in me with great faith. Worshipping me in transcendental loving service is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. So, and then he also quotes Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. So, if one is able to do this, then they are a first-class yogi. They keep Krishna within the center, within their mind. And of course, this requires practice. And practice means not just any type of practice, but it means practice that is authorized by the acharyas. We can't make things up. I spoke with Mukunda Datta Prabhu, our old friend, Prabhupada disciple Mukunda Datta Prabhu, who's based there in Vrindavan, and I asked him some questions. One of the questions I asked him was, what do you feel is the greatest weakness that you see within the Hare Krishna movement? I also asked him what is the greatest strength you see in the Hare Krishna movement. But one of the weaknesses he said is that he was quoting Srila Prabhupada's particular, you could say, complaint he had of his disciples, and that devotees they don't read his books, and also the tendency to change stuff, or this tendency to move towards what is called sahajiism. Means you take things very cheaply, and things are done in an unauthorized fashion, not really following the charya. I asked, positively, what is the strength of the greatest strength of the Hare Krishna movement? And he said, well, the strength is that Srila Prabhupada established the GBC very early on in his movement, And then after his departure, it continued. And by that establishing the GBC, they've helped to keep things together as a worldwide organization. And as a worldwide organization, it's very nice to be connected to a worldwide organization. One reason is that we can take the association of so many wonderful devotees, senior devotees, who have a lot of experience. So this is a great strength of ISKCON. So yeah, we have to do things in an authorized fashion. It's not that, okay, we need to get with the times. Football's very popular, or cricket's very popular. Let's all get together and watch the game as Vaishnavas. This will be our sadhu sangha. We'll go down to the liquor store, get some non-alcoholic beer. You know, they have that. Get some non-alcoholic beer, watch the Super Bowl game. We'll have some kirtan afterwards, and of course some, prasadam. But it sounds funny, but, all types of things go on. All types of things go on. So we have to be careful that we just very simply follow the process given by our acharyas, and very specifically given by Srila Prabhupada as followers of Srila Prabhupada, the Hare Krishna movement. And in this way, we will we'll very easily come to the platform of always remembering Krishna, or else it's very difficult. All right, I'll stop there. Does anybody have any question or comment? Yes, Veerchandra.
Thank you for the class. Please tell us the difference between Bhakti Yoga, main difference, and these other yogas.
Bhakti Yoga and other yogas. Well, I mean, these other yogas, first of all, there's a lot of the actual, yoga. I mean, not the actual yoga, but the more of a physical sense, mental. There's more, you could say, mental and physical aspects towards it, in these different types of yoga. Whereas in Bhakti Yoga, it's a yoga of devotion. It's based on the soul reconnecting with Krishna through the 9 processes of devotional service, hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, all of these different things. Like certain yogas, there's a requirement, just like Krishna explains in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, okay, you go out to the forest, you're alone, you're meditating there by the river. A lot of this pranayama going on and these different things. Whereas Bhakti Yoga, and as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the process for this particular age, is based on the chanting of Hare Krishna. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam kalau nasteva 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 gatir nyata. So, yeah. Do you have something else to say about that?
How I understand that different types of yoga required some our efforts, like the from false ego. But Bhakti Yoga, we should surrender to Guru and strictly follow his instructions.
Yeah.
And this is, how to say, not our efforts. This is like this is a path of mercy.
It's a path of mercy. It's the path of a lot of yoga may depend on one's own endeavors, but definitely the path of bhakti yoga stresses more this idea of mercy, Krishna's mercy. I think Dravida Prabhu has something, maybe? No.
I was just thinking there's that verse in the Upadeshamrita. Utsahan, Nishyadarayat, Tattat Karma Bhavatana. Those four can be applied to Ashtanga Yoga too. If you're not enthusiastic, determined, and following all the things. But Sangha Tyagat Sato Vritte.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is, it depends on getting together in association, hearing a chant.
Associating with, I'm up in the Himalayas. I may have a cave mate next to me that I got my association.
That's the Sangha you got to give up, Sangha Tyaga.
Well, they're meditating on the super soul. I don't think I have to give them up.
Okay. Anyway, that's my faulty contribution, because when you get to Sangha, it means giving up association of materialists, which includes materialistic yogis. I develop this power, I can get liberation.
Yeah, yogis also, there's the whole. I mean, generally, when we hear of yogis in the scripture, that there's all this. They're considered to be in the category of those who are desiring material things. What is that? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakala Shanta, Krishna Bhakti Nishkama Iteva Shanta. So, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami. So, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami. So, those who are after Bhukti, material enjoyment. Those who are after Siddhi, material or mystic perfection. Bhukti, Mukti, those are after in personal liberation. They cannot be peaceful. But the Krishna Bhakti Nishkama, they don't have any material desires, so therefore they could be peaceful. A lot of these yogis, when we hear about yogis, they have these different desires. And also, the Hare Krishna movement is a movement that is meant to distribute the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu freely. And generally when we think of yogis, they think of, like Dravida Prabhu saying, out in the Himalayas, and not really caring for people in general. But the bhakti yogis are merciful in that they distribute Krishna's mercy to everybody freely. So, I think yes, Bhajanarayan.
I don't accept Veer Chandra's initial. Hare Krishna. I don't accept Veer Chandra Prabhu's initial premise that everybody else, the different yogis, are personally endeavoring and striving, and that the bhakti yoga is surrender to the order of their guru, and they're kind of just drifting downstream. I don't buy that. Yeah, he thought the same thing. We have to endeavor. We try hard. We're focused. We're fixed. So I don't buy that you just surrender to the order of the guru and you're on autopilot. I don't buy that. I mean, I'm willing to be challenged.
You want to say something, Mahapati? Yeah. I mean, surrender. Like I remember one time, Mahatattva Prabhu, he, Tirtha Maharaj, years ago, I was really tired during japa one time, and I was, one particular time, it's probably a number of times, but he came up to me and he, kind of said, "Oh, why are you so tired?" And said, well, I was really busy yesterday and I get really time to take a nap and this and that. And I was given some reasons. And he said, yeah, but to surrender to Krishna doesn't mean that you just like give up your intelligence. You have to utilize your intelligence in such a way that you plan to, you plan in the best way to execute your devotional service. And I said, okay, sure. I'll try to plan better next time. So like that, yes, we surrendered to the Guru, but we use our intelligence, just like Srila Prabhupada. I mean, it's if we think of Srila Prabhupada and the order from his Guru, he surrendered to the order. His Guru's order was go to the West and preach. Now, when he said the West, he could have went to London, he could have went to, he came to New York. And Srila Prabhupada said he had some dreams where he was dreaming of coming to New York, to spread Krishna consciousness. But he made that decision. He thought about it. He utilized his intelligence. He thought about it, and he decided to come to America. And just like Srila Prabhupada's Guru, he said, if you ever get money, print books. And Srila Prabhupada utilized his intelligence how to do that. He set up the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. And so in this way, Srila Prabhupada, he took instructions that were general in a sense, but he utilized his intelligence to best fulfill that order. Okay, Sankarshan? No? Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
I just had a reflection after reading the verse, controlling the mind in pranayama. It made me...
Yeah, you're a yoga man.
I'm a yoga man. I've been teaching yoga for a long time.
You're not offended by our conversation?
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
I'm just joking.
I realized after having taught yoga for many years that when students practice consistently over time, they get to the mode of goodness. They then become more curious about spiritual life.
Yeah.
So kind of connecting with the verse from last week is that we have to get to mode of goodness first, and then we can springboard into bhakti.
Yeah, it could help. Definitely, we see sometimes that people who begin to try to live a clean life and practice yoga and these different things, that they tend to be more open. A number of devotees have had success in preaching to these groups of people. I mean, in Hong Kong, it's such a materialistic, atheistic, passionate kind of scene. So Tamal Krishna Goswami, he was thinking, okay, how am I to spread Krishna consciousness in such a place? So he introduced yoga. So you have, invite people, they do yoga. And at the end, they get some prasadam, and then they also talk to him about mantra meditation and some principles of the Bhagavad Gita. And he said many people became devotees like that. And it's true, many people did become devotees, and still people are becoming devotees. And I know you're doing yoga at this, what is the place called?
Yoga Deck.
Yeah, Yoga Deck, okay. And it's here in Golden, what is it, Hill?
Bankers Hill?
Yes, Bankers Hill. So we've done some kirtan programs there at your place, and he's brought some people to the Krishna Lounge. So really nice people come, some nice, this guy, what's his name? He comes regularly.
Joe.
Joe, yeah, really nice guy, he comes regularly. So just keep on trying to give them Krishna consciousness.
I met one of his students.
Yeah.
It's a luggage store.
I heard about this, yeah.
It was easy to pick me out.
Nice. All right, so we'll just show a few pictures.
I'm going to get flight today.
Because sometimes people say, well, how did the trip go, and this and that. So this way, I could just show some visual pictures to give an idea of the trip. and I don't have to tax my brain to come up with a bunch of stories. But, okay. So, can it be raised up a little bit or not really?
No, because pictures are not the same size. Some of them.
All right, fine. All right, so that's Hanumanji. Aviral Prabhu, Bhakta Aviral, our Aviral here, we started the journey from San Diego to LAX. Hanuman was with us. Okay, next. This is Hong Kong. This is Hong Kong. I'm not sure the name of this devotee, but he's a disciple of the Tamal Krishna Goswami. He actually came through yoga many, many years ago for the Hong Kong temple. He became a devotee. So we're out there in Hong Kong doing Harinam. Stopped there for a short time in Hong Kong. Okay, next. Another Hong Kong. Okay, next. Harinam, Hong Kong. So this is the devotee who lives there in Hong Kong with his daughter. She's learning the drum. Okay, next. It's a devotee at the Hong Kong temple. What does this shirt say? I'm not this body. I'm pure spirit soul. It's pure soul. Nice. Okay, next. These are the deities, according to Thai, Hong Kong. Next. So this is the Madan Mohan temple, very famous temple in Vrindavan. There's a lot of pilgrims down there. These two men right here were very enthusiastic to get their picture taken. I was taking a picture of the temple, but they jumped in and were Haribol and everything. So, okay, next. Govinda Ji temple, very beautiful temple. Those who know the history, this is in the evening. Yeah, I was walking out of the I gave a donation. I was giving donations at the temple, which is a good practice to do. One devotee, he made the comment that even people who are very poor, when they go to these temples, they give a little donation. And he was saying that it's good when devotees from America and other places, when they go to these temples, they give a little donation to help with the service of the deity and so on. And it's a form of respect. You offer your obeisances, you give a little donation. Anyways, I gave a donation, and then I was walking out in this temple. Don't mean to make it mundane or something, but there's just tons of monkeys. So I was coming out and I was like, oh man, there's like a whole gang of monkeys out there. So I think because I gave a good donation, the pujari, he jumped off the altar and he had a huge monkey stick. It was like, I don't know, like 8 feet long or something, but he came out and he was, got the monkeys to leave. So, but anyways, that's why we don't give donations for that purpose, but yeah. But yeah, very beautiful temple and very historical temple. Okay, next. This is Radha Raman temple. Next. This is the Yamuna. I actually never. I never went on a boat on the Yamuna. I've been to the Vrindavan many times. There were some devotees there from Hawaii, and we wanted to spend a little time with each other. So I said, well, how do you feel? Would you like to go out on a boat ride in the Yamuna? And they said, okay, it's a good idea. So we went out there. Next.
Are we looking at? Yeah, so we're off from the other side.
Yeah.
Looking back at Vrindavan.
Yeah, this is like you walk down to you walk down on the Parikrama Marg, and then maybe like 20 minutes away from the Krishna Balarama temple, past the Goshala, and then there's all those boats there on the Yamuna, and then it takes you, takes you forward, and then it passes Keshi Ghat there. So what we did is we went like this, past Keshi Ghat, and then we were over here looking at Keshi Ghat, looking back.
And then you walk back?
No, they take you back on the boat. It's a whole. So this is devotee here on the right. That's Jivananda from Maui. He's offering water to the Ganga. You know, he's a Hawaii boy, so he had to jump in the Yamuna. Yeah, him and Tulsi were there. So that might be. I think it's Keshi. Yeah, that's Keshi Ghat. Okay, next. I'm not sure who that is, but okay, next. Yes, next. That's Jivananda, his wife Tulsi, before the Yamuna bathing. He's offering dandavats. Okay, next. This is the devotee who plays the flute for Radharaman in the evening. I think it's about 9 p.m., but I don't know if he does that every evening, but at least when I went there, he was playing. Some told me he did it every evening, some didn't. But anyways, it's very nice flute playing. Okay, next. So devotee outside of the Radharaman temple. Next.
You know that Radharaman temple?
You want to speak into the mic? Is there a mic there?
You know, there's usually Jai and Vijay on the two sides of the door, but the Radharaman temple and some of the other Goswami temples, they're cowherd boys. So they're not, it's not Vaikuntha, it's actually Goloka.
Nice. This is a picture of a devotee going around Tulsi at the Radha Damodar temple. I visited some days. I visited a couple times there, but the first time I visited, she was there, and then I came some days later, and she was there again. So, you know, it's a common thing, devotees, they go every day to the different temples, specifically the 7 Goswami temples they visit every day. So she's going around Tulsi. Okay, next. This is the devotee, a devotee. Devotees. This devotee, she has some Mahaprasadam, Radharaman, that little pot with the kheer or condensed milk. She's feeding it to this dog here a little bit. It's a Vrindavan dog. Hangs out around Radharaman temple. And when we were there, the pujari, they came out and she was asking, can you give some of these devotees from America, can you give them some prasadam? And the pujari came out and he gave her like a bag. And there was like, I don't know, at least 20 of these little clay pots. Yeah, with kheer. That was a lot. And some chapatis from Radharaman. So the devotee offered me a few, and then he took the rest. And I asked him what he was going to do. He said he was going to distribute them, you know, here and there to devotees. But yeah, okay. Next, this is Gopal, Mukunda Datta Prabhu's Gopal, Prabhupada disciples. When I went over to his home. Okay, next. These are his Shīlas. Okay, next. More picture of his deities. Next. His deities. Mukunda Datta. Next. Gaurnitai. Next. Nrsingadev. Next. Yeah. Yeah. All of these are Mukunda Datta Prabhu's deities. And Sri Murti, she says hello to you. Mukunda Datta's wife says hello to Prema Priya Radhika. Okay, next. It's Mukunda Datta. Next. This is a devotee from Moscow. Shamagora Prabhu. He has some of the burfi from the deities here. I gave him as a gift. I said, please distribute it to the other brahmacharis. He said he did. I trusted him, so.
I don't know, you look at that smile. It looks like he's got a plan.
Okay, next. Prabhupada at the Radha Damodar temple. He stayed there for a number of years before he came to America. This is his room. Bhajan Kutir. Okay, next. Srila Prabhupada writing. Next. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Samadhi, which I believe is at the Radha Gokulananda temple. And anyways, it's such a, and also Narottam Das Thakur's Samadhi's there. Such wonderful personalities we have actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur. If you read about, or when we read about all of these personalities, such amazing personalities, and they wrote such wonderful books and commentaries. So we should be very happy that we're connected with such persons and take advantage of their instructions. And also, when we read Srila Prabhupada's purports, he's taken from all of these great acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and all these wonderful commentators, and he's added what they've had to say and also his own realizations. So it's really amazing. All right, next. Rupa Goswami. It says deity or Murti in his Bhajan Kutir there at Radha Damodar. Next. So this is the rickshaw out to Govardhan. Those rickshaws are rough. They definitely don't have proper suspension. Anyways, some enthusiastic rickshaw driver. Okay, next. These are a group of monkeys at Govardhan having an Ishtagoshti. I don't know what they're planning. I mean, I never saw, anyways, I thought it was a little strange. I never saw a group like that huddled up, but. Okay, next. Calf. Next. It's a devotee from Dallas. He was very happy to be in India. They said, it's amazing, But we're at Govardhan, and they put up a bunch of lights there at Govardhan, and we saw this whole pathway of lights, and we're going, oh, what is this? And then we went over there and we asked devotees, and they said, oh, it was somebody's birthday, so they were lighting all these candles to offer to Govardhan. So these are some Shilas here also, with lights around. Okay, next. This is Borijan Prabhu standing up, giving Govardhan, giving a very enthusiastic class about Krishna, Krishna's pastimes. Very enthusiastic devotee. Okay, next. Next. Hanuman, Govardhan. Okay, next. Scenes of early morning Govardhan. Parikrama path. Next. Some devotees chanting and worshiping. There's a number of Shilas there in the distance. Okay, next. This is a devotee. His name is Divya Radha. He's from Surat. And he's making an offering there. There's a Govardhan Shila, and then there's a number of pictures there. This is in Giraj Swami's room there in Govardhan. He was there for some time. And it's hard to see, but there's a frame there. 3 pictures. There's Srila Prabhupada, there's Radha Giridhari in the middle, and then there's Gaura Nitai there. Yeah. And I thought about it because Giraj Swami, when this is his little set, this is his altar set up at Govardhan, but he also has the same altar set up in Vrindavan in his room. And for many years I would go up to his ashram and I would see that on his altar there were so many different personalities there. There was Panchatattva from Mayapur, Panchatattva from Laguna Beach, and so many different deities. And anybody who's been there, they see he has a lot of deities and pictures from different places from around the world. But in that ashram, he never had Radhagiri Dari there in the ashram. But then when I went to his room, you know, Radhagiri Dari is there right on his desk. So that's very nice, you know, that they made it there. Okay. Next. Some more Sheilas. Okay, next. Scared Swamin Boyjan Prabhu. All right, next. Let's go myself, or let's, yeah. Okay, I think there's one more after this. Maybe is that video there? Yeah, we could play a short video. It's a video of this flute player at the Radharaman temple. Short video. Let's see if it works.
So this was recorded at Radharaman.
Yeah, I recorded it. Some pictures and a video. Okay, Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.